own plans. We are only to understand and participate. Our experiences, learnings, and observations are the only tools to face this and proceed. Today, coronavirus COVID-19 has given us this opportunity to pause, reflect, and share this time with our near and dear ones. We, the faculty members of Nrityanjali, are looking at this time as an opportunity to venture into a new space, the space of virtual medium, and share our work, our experiences built upon the 32 years of research work of our mentor Dr. Tushar Guha. There are multiple facets to it, but today we are speaking for our young ones. We are going to share insight on life skills. I am Maitri Khedekar and I belong to Nrityanjali-ites, and we have been trained directly under Dr. Tushar Guha sir. The topic that we have taken up for today is definitely going to be very interesting. Before I introduce the topic to you, let me put up a word in front of you. Now, when I say this word, you have to relate to all those words that you can associate with that particular word. So, are you ready? So, let's begin. And the word is remember. Yes? So, what all words can we associate with the word remember? That is, yes, we do have brain, we have mind, we have lessons, dates, and of course, memory. Yes, not that the other words are not right, but memory is the word that connects us with our today's topic. Yes, we all do have memory, right? Yes, but we still find that some people remember things very fast, but some take time. So that means, is memory inborn? Yes, it could be a God's gift, but that does not mean that we cannot develop our memory skills. There are certain techniques, certain ways by which we can enhance our memory power. For example, now we may have heard words like memory chips or memory cards. We can insert in the gadgets and we can upgrade the memory. Can we do the same with our brain too? It sounds very interesting, but it is not possible. So then how do we cope up, or how do we enhance this memory skill? That is what we are going to see in our today's session, and the topic is memory management. The most important thing that we need to consider is our interest. Yes, you may have experienced that the things you are interested in, you remember it very fast with no more problems, right? For example, you have a very trendy, catchy Bollywood number, song being played on the television just once, and you remember it so fast. But similarly, if you have a Hindi poem in your Hindi syllabus book, it takes time to be learned, right? That doesn't mean you are wrong. It's just that we have to develop interest. So as students, as children, if we develop interest in our lessons, in our subjects, then definitely we can learn the things faster and easily, with great ease. So that is a very first step that we need to understand. The second most important thing is we need to pay attention. We need to have a full attention on the things that we are going to learn. Because the more we focus, the more we have intention to learn, the more we can easily learn the things. That will make our memory skills more sharper, and also you remember things for a longer time. Now, as we know, memory involves our mind. So it is definitely a mental task. Now, the state of mind in which our mind is when we are learning something, or when we are memorizing something, definitely plays a very important role. For example, if you're very tired, your mind is very tired, you come back from school, after the whole days of school, and you come and somebody compels you to sit and learn something right away, will you be able to do so? No. That's because our mind is not in a state to take up something new. For example, you can take a sponge which has absorbed a lot of water, and now it cannot take any more water. So what do we need to do first? We need to release the pre-absorbed water so that it becomes able to take up the new water. So similarly, our mind also needs to come in a calmer state, wherein you have less thoughts, you have less distraction. And if in such a state you allow your mind, or you give your mind something to learn, it goes deep into your minds and you remember it for a longer time. You may have heard a lot of time, mama says just sit quietly for some time, or your teacher also makes you just sit quietly for some time during your school or before your school begins. That's because they want our minds to be relaxed to be able to understand and focus, and so our memory skills become sharper. It's very easy. You just have to close your eyes, sit quietly in a place and just breathe in and breathe out. That's it. And if you continue this practice before every learning session of yours, it will definitely make a difference. So please try it. It will really work. There are other techniques like, you have to associate similar concepts or similar grouping ideas. They relate to each other. You can also group them. Now, for example, you can relate it to things which are familiar to you. For example, in history, we have lots of dates to remember. So how do we remember? Now, for example, you have a certain event which has happened in the history, and that date coincides with your birth date of your dad. So you just remember that, oh, my dad's birthday relates to this date in history, the event in history. So that's how you have to find out connections which relate to you and they are familiar to you. So this also makes your learning very easy, and it is fun because when you connect things, it's like you're doing something new. Similarly, as you may remember that when you were small, Mama used to give you to write a lot of times, or teacher also used to give pages and pages to write the same thing. Now what was this for? This was just to memorize that thing so well. Now if somebody asks you, have you forgotten your alphabets? No, because we have written it so many times that it has become ingrained in our minds. So writing also helps us to improve our memory skills. So even if you are you have your big answers, if you just write down once, it really makes a difference and you remember the words more better than by learning orally. Similarly, when you repeat or revise a particular thing, that also makes your learning much better. Now this we see very often in our dance. You all may be learning dance in some form or the other. You have a dance section in your school also. So you may have seen the teacher gives you one step and asks you to repeat that step a number of times. Now what is this done for? So that you remember that the thing gets stored in your mind so well that you can do it unconsciously. So even repeating, revising things also helps your memory to be more sharper. Another thing is, there are very creative ways, innovative ways. They are all individual. Each one has to develop his own idea. For example, I have seen children who, for a particular answer, they draw some diagrams and they remember the answer in such a way. Or if a child is very interested in music, he makes the answer in a very musical form. He makes a song out of that. That's how he remembers. Or some children also make acronyms for a particular sentence to be remembered. So these are all creative, innovative ways which are not there in such, but you have to create yours, which you can easily relate to. And this is how you will help make your memory more better. So after today's session, I think children will not say that I have a very low memory power or I can't remember things, because the person who remembers things is not some extraordinary different. He just tries different combinations or techniques, and that is how he remembers things much better. So I hope you enjoyed and understood the subject. Your likes and emails to nrityanjali1963.nrityanjali@nrityanjali.org.in. It will encourage us to continue with our series. So please open your mailbox and tell us your experience.